The room was alive with the clinking of glasses and soft chatter as the guests mingled in their finest attire. Maya stood at the entrance of the ballroom, the soft rustle of her worn-out dress contrasting sharply against the gleaming floor and expensive fabrics around her. The whispers began almost immediately. "Who let her in?" one voice sneered. "Can you believe it?" another whispered. "She looks like she doesn't belong here." Standing at the edge of the glittering ballroom, Maya could feel their eyes boring into her. Their gaze was sharp, calculating. They were sizing her up, trying to fit her into a box that would make them comfortable. She wasn't supposed to be here. One man, clearly in his 30s, with expensive taste in both his tailored suit and his smirk, turned to his friend, loud enough for Maya to hear. "Should we give her a Best Dressed award? Or maybe she'll win Most Out of Place." His laughter echoed across the room, and Maya's stomach twisted in response. But she didn't flinch. She wasn't here for their approval. She wasn't here to fit in. She was here to prove them wrong. The thought ran through her mind like a firecracker. She stepped forward, her footsteps quiet against the grand marble, and let the weight of the mockery slide off her shoulders. Maya was about to show them that their judgment didn't define her. If you're enjoying stories like this, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories to life. And tell us where you're watching from in the comments. We love seeing this community from all over the world. Now let's dive into the rest of the story. The gala in Palm Springs, California, was the epitome of wealth. Guests in tuxedos and glittering gowns swirled around the ballroom like actors in a film. But for Maya, it felt like she was an extra, not even in the background, but invisible. The silence in her wake was palpable. She moved through the crowd, her feet heavy as she passed through clusters of laughing, smiling people, all clad in high-end fashion. She tried to ignore the snide comments and sideways glances, focusing on the reason she was here. As she passed a group of men, one leaned over to another, his voice dripping with disdain. "I wonder if she even knows where she is. Probably just here for the free food." Maya's hands gripped her invitation tightly. Her family had scrimped and saved for years just to get her this opportunity. She wasn't going to let their mockery break her. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. Expecting a work email or an update from her mom, she pulled it out and froze when she saw the notification. Red Lamborghini, custom paint, spotted outside the Ritz Gala. Who is the mystery woman driving it? Her heartbeat quickened. The Lamborghini was her car. She hadn't planned on revealing herself, but fate had other plans. Maya stepped outside the ballroom, just needing a breath of air to clear her mind. Outside, the air was cooler, and the night stretched wide in front of her. The gleaming red Lamborghini was parked right by the entrance, catching the streetlights like a jewel in the night. It didn't belong here, and yet it felt like it was right where it needed to be. Maya walked up to the car, her fingers grazing its sleek surface. She could feel the power in the engine as it hummed quietly, ready to roar to life. She had worked so hard for this. Every late night, every sacrifice, every challenge she had faced. She slid into the driver's seat, the familiar leather and chrome surrounding her. The engine came to life with a low growl, vibrating through her chest as she hit the accelerator. The car's roar sliced through the quiet night, and as she drove down the avenue, Maya felt something shift inside her. She was no longer the joke. Back inside the ballroom, Lucas, the man who had mocked her earlier, was still laughing it off. oblivious to the change unfolding. But as Maya's Lamborghini tore through the street outside, something caught his attention. "Isn't that the woman who was just—" Lucas began to say. He froze mid-sentence when the truth hit him like a slap. He stood motionless, his drink halfway to his mouth. The news began to spread like wildfire. The Lamborghini wasn't just any car. It was Maya's car, and with it came the shocking revelation of who she truly was. Maya wasn't the out-of-place woman in rags. She was the CEO of North Star Technologies, a leading innovator in the clean energy sector, one of the most successful tech companies in the world. The gala, still alive with chatter, began to buzz with whispers. "She's the CEO! The woman in rags! The one they laughed at!" The voices shifted from mockery to awe. The very woman they had all mocked for her simple dress was the one leading the future of clean energy. Lucas, still trying to process the situation, stared at his phone in disbelief. He muttered to himself, "No way," as he read the news. His smug grin from earlier was gone, replaced by confusion and regret. He could feel the weight of his earlier words hanging in the air, making the quiet in the ballroom seem even more oppressive. His fingers trembled as he swiped through the headlines. Maya Ease, CEO of North Star Technologies, shocks gala guests with Lamborghini reveal. The contrast was too much for him to comprehend. She wasn't who he thought she was. Meanwhile, the crowd at the gala buzzed with disbelief. Social media exploded with mentions of Maya's true identity, showing clips of her walking confidently through the ballroom. The woman who had been laughed at for wearing a simple dress was now a headline. As the whispers began to spread through the gala, Maya's name flooded social media as the CEO of one of the largest emerging tech firms. It was a revelation that no one saw coming. The camera zooms in on Lucas, his face drained of color as he tried to wrap his head around the turn of events. The man who had mocked Maya just moments ago was now fighting to reconcile the humiliation he had caused. How could they have missed it? The next day, the story of Maya went viral. Headlines splashed across every news outlet. She wasn't just a guest at the gala. She was the powerful CEO behind one of the largest and most forward-thinking tech companies in the world. The red Lamborghini wasn't a symbol of wealth. It was a symbol of everything Maya had built on her own, with no help, no handouts, just pure hard work. Inside the gala, Lucas and his friends sat in stunned silence. Their laughter from the night before had faded, replaced by the harsh reality of their prejudices. Lucas, his arrogance now replaced by guilt, found himself attempting to explain to his peers what had happened. "She was the CEO. How did we miss that?" His voice was shaky, filled with disbelief. But it wasn't just about the Lamborghini. It was about Maya's journey. The car was a symbol, yes, but the real power was in how she had risen above the judgment, the whispers, and the mockery to become the leader she was. She didn't let their opinions define her. Instead, she redefined herself on her own terms. Maya had turned the ridicule, the whispers, the laughter, and the mockery into something more powerful than anyone could have imagined. She wasn't just a punchline to a joke. She was the one who took control of her own narrative. She changed the way people saw her. And more importantly, she changed the way they saw themselves. How quick they were to judge. How easily they had dismissed her. Maya's story was a reminder that you can never judge a book by its cover, and that people's true value lies beneath the surface, beyond what they wear or where they come from. As Maya watched the social media frenzy unfold, she allowed herself a small smile. This was her moment. But not for the headlines, not for the cars. It was for the quiet moments of strength that no one had seen. The world had judged her based on her appearance. But now, they would remember her for who she truly was. A visionary, a leader, and a woman who had risen above all the noise to stand tall.